This picture over here, this box right here, man, this was exactly how Darius received his Inori figure from the postman. This figure over here, this figure of Inori has split into two halves. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Steven right here with episode 2 of figure collection roasting, right? Okay, so I started this series about almost a month ago where I encouraged you guys to email me your figure collection pictures, your room pictures, anything that you have in your current collection, and I will react to your figure collection, right? The great news is that I received overwhelming response from you guys. Like, I received so many emails, I had to organize things and sort things out. At the same time, well, the amount of submissions I got are way too many that now I have to split it into 2 episodes, right? So on screen over here, this is a list of those of you guys who were early enough to email me, so you made it to episode 2. For the remaining 5 or 6 of you, yeah, I apologize that your content will be pushed to episode 3. I have decided to limit each episode to 10 people. So next episode, we already have 5 people, 5 more slots. So email me your stuff if you want your anime figure collection to be featured in my videos in episode 3 coming up next in a few weeks time, right? Feel free to email anytime and your turn will eventually arrive, right? So I encourage you guys to keep emailing me. The email address is on screen. Alright, now we are taking a look on my screen over here, and the title of today's video, yeah, something really terrible happened to one of you. I have followed up with you to obtain more information on what happened to that one particular figure. I think that is the main highlight of today's video, yeah. And that guy is someone I personally know in person, one of my friends who is living somewhere 4 hours away from my area, right? Different state. Okay, so now for the 10 of you, we'll just go by alphabetical order based on the names you provided. The first one right here. Okay, this is what you wrote in your email to me. I'm going to read it out. Hi X-Kurugane, I have always watched your content on figures and saw you were doing a figure roast video. Here are my figures to show to ya. My whole collection is within my basement. Love your content and keep up the good work. Yeah, thank you very much. Right, you can refer to me as Endo or Ando Kami in the video if you choose me as your next roast video. Whatever that works. Alright. So I'll just refer to you as Ando, right? Or Ando Kami because you think you are God, you want to be addressed as Ando Kami-sama. I'm open to that as well. Okay. Alright. So your whole collection is within your basement. Basement. That is interesting. Actually, right, houses or homes, residential homes in my country, I mean a basement floor and underground floor, that is very uncommon. Yeah. Maybe some of you, I don't know which country you are from, some of you have an underground or basement floor because, you know, you deal with severe weather like tornadoes, who knows, so you have an underground floor. Over here in my country, you only see that in houses of really rich people, like bungalows. Yeah, they have an additional basement floor just because it feels special, no? Alright, so the first picture over here, I apologize if the images are a bit like not properly sorted out. But anyways, we'll go through them one by one. The first one right here. Alright, so it seems like, are you categorizing your section in your IKEA details based on the series they originated from? Well, that is a nice way to display your figure, but sometimes it does not always work because you have too many figures from this franchise and then you have very few figures from another franchise, you know. Okay, so the one on the right, FGO section. So we have Mordred. I have that figure. I love that figure. Same thing with Shuten Doji caster version, right? Yeah, that walking Chinese zombie version. I loved that figure as well. Then Elizabeth Battery. How did yours turn out, man? Mine arrived with a broken tail And because the figure was being damaged by the postman, yeah, I couldn't review it properly on this channel. I never published a review on that. But I still love that figure. I feel like buying a second one, like, no, I'll keep one, the newer one in box, and then the broken one, I'll glue it back and display it. And we have pop-up rates, Scarhack, and also a Stolfo right here. You know, I was thinking of buying pop-up rate Astolfo, which is around 1/10 skill, and then I'll 3D print and make my own hippogriff for him. Yeah, sounds like a great idea, isn't it? But I simply don't understand why did you buy pop-up rate Scarhack, because it is not a very good figure at all. Like, no, the plum version is less than $100 before shipping, of course. I would rather you get that one. Like, I would rather you buy a plum skill figure over a pop-up rate, man. Yeah, there are many cheap figures of her out there. I do highly recommend you get at least the one by Plum, or even better, go for the one by Kill Skill, right? Alright, and then on the left side over here, Mona Magisters by Wonderful Works. Oh, is this Mega House where Garurumon from Digimon? Yeah, I know my Digimons. And at the back, we have Ganyu and the Race Queen Aqua from Konosuba. Alright. Digimon is my childhood, and somehow by the time I reach adult age by now, I should be spending money on my childhood stuff, but then I've lost a bit of interest. Otherwise, you'll see me with a shelf of Omegamon, Wargreymon, and Metal Garurumons. I love those mega level Digimons, you know. Moving on to the next picture over here, Asuna Ichinose by Max Factory. Great buy. I loved that figure, man. Alright, and then here on the right side, behind... Oh, I thought it was plastic gods, but no. It is just an acrylic piece to elevate the figure. This is something by Union Creative, if I'm not mistaken. I have seen like at least 2 or 3 of you owning this figure. So she is actually relatively popular. Here is this pop-up rate. Is that your Forger pop-up rate? Because if I remembered correctly, there are like a select few figures from that product line that does not have the hexagonal base, and seeing that your Forger and that Albedo has the same base, yeah, that is pop-up rate. And behind we have, yeah, Kill La Kill. And this girl in front, of course, I don't remember her name. I'm bad at remembering names, but I know that is from Fire Emblem and made by Intelligent Systems. Yeah. Moving up to the next one. This is the top section. On the very top, is that Griffin Enterprises? Yeah, that is by Griffin, I think. Yes, you look at that metal plate in front. The figure base over here, it is partially obscured over here. You know, one of the things Griffin Enterprises did with their figures was that every single figure they make have the same exact base, the same exact oval, black oval base, and then there's a metal plate in front with the character's name on it. It was a love and hate relationship for some collectors. Some people loved it, but most people did not like the base because it is the same thing. They reuse the same thing over multiple figures, and Griffin was one of the worst figure brands back then, but their biggest salvation was their Toho figures, right? Their Toho figures were actually pretty decent, and this one over here is one of them. She is not cheap. If you're looking for this figure today, let's say you go to Mandarake, she still fetches like 10 to 12,000 yen. The price has not fallen much since then, right? Since back then she was released. And right here on the right side, yeah, Kotobukiya's Morgan. A lot of people own this figure. I've noticed it as well. So on the left over here, Konosuba shelf, right? Hey, that Aqua below just now, she deserves to be placed over here, right? But I suppose you don't have the space, which is why I said displaying of figures based on origins, sometimes they don't work. Okay, so we have more pop-up rates over here. Yun Yun, Aqua, Darkness. And that Megumin above the bigger one, I can't remember which brand made that scale figure. Is that CA Works or Kadokawa? I can't remember anymore. Moving on to the right side, this is the Hololive shelf. Very obvious. Alright, most of the pop-up rates you have here, they are good figures. Like, they are decent, except for Nekomata Okayu, which I don't think there are any decent skill figures of her, unfortunately. The pop-up rate was, it was almost a disaster. I reviewed it on this channel, actually. Very nice. Like, that Corone figure I have behind, that is one of the best skill figures of her out there. Yeah, I did not buy one. I think that is not cheap nowadays, right? Gogura, did you pre-order the skill figure? I think it was by Design Coco, right? Go for it, right? That is a good buy. And a chibi figure in front. Alright, moving on to the next picture over here, another section of the shelf. Okay, so this wolf over here, I don't recognize this one. And then we have Holo from Spice and Wolf, Pyra from Xenoblade 2 behind, the one by Good Smile. Oh, that thing sold out in under less than an hour on Ami after she opened pre-order back then. The same thing applied to the other character, like they sold out very quickly, man. Okay, and then here, Ryza, this swimsuit version, what company is it? Can't remember anymore. Max Factory's MX-chan, a very, very recent release. Behind we have Uzaki. In front, yeah, this girl from Ryza also. I don't remember her name. I know, in this picture, this figure on the right side appears weird to you, right? Like, the face is being stretched really wide. Like, something is wrong with the sculpture. That is not the problem with the figure. It is a problem with the camera itself, right? That is the big problem with wide angle lenses in general. I'll talk about it in a separate video in future, where sometimes user pictures are not necessarily accurate either. When I tell you guys to look for user pictures before buying the figure, yeah, that is great when you want to inspect the paint quality, but for sculpting, face problems and so on, right? Yeah, even user pictures are not necessarily accurate, but that is for another topic, for another day. Oh, this MX-chan is fabulous, man. No, Max Factory is quite underrated. Like, the figures they make are really good, right? They are really good, but somehow many of them still bargain bin, including the FGO figures. Yeah. Alright, moving on to the next one. So this is your entire setup over here. Alright. PlayStation 5. What is that? Oh, PlayStation 3, okay. Okay, I can't really see what is over here. Very dark. Xbox, is that 360? You see, I'm not very familiar with consoles. It sounds surprising, but I've told you guys before, I don't even own a single console even today. Consoles are something really cheap to me. Like $500, $600. What is $600 when one single camera lens I used to film my figure review cost $900 or $1,000, right? No, consoles and gaming as a hobby in general is a lot cheaper than photography as a hobby, for example. And yeah, also figures, like collecting figures is a lot more expensive than gaming, seriously. And on this desk over here, 1x4 scales. Power, Makima, and then that girl from that slime anime, the one who sucks in cooking. Yeah, I don't want to squeeze my brain juice at the moment, thinking too hard about names of characters, right? And here we have Kobashi, from Kobashi Made Dragon. So 4 of them. Elden Ring, and then... Oh, that is Max Factory Asuna's box, I see. I have a friend who is also a big fan of Uzaki. Yeah. There are more pictures, right? Yeah. Oh, wow. An entire corner. For some reason, your setup feels really Christmassy. Like, is this Christmas theme or setup or something? I have no idea why. Maybe it is the colors of your cabinet and the LED lighting, you know, like the same thing you put on your Christmas pine trees. And this red color thing over here. Yeah, it feels really Christmassy somehow. What do we have over here? Those are price figures, right? Yeah, looks like it. Ram, and then that slime dude again. What are these? I'm not sure. Not really sure what are these at all. Hair gels. Okay. More books, art books, right? Lots of controllers. Kotobukiya Bishoujo series Psylocke. Nice. Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh figures. That skill figure of Ram feels familiar, but I can't remember what brand is that. This must be Yu-Gi-Oh character. Must be. Pop-up raids, more pop-up raids, Evangelion section, and then Persona section. This figure of Junko Enoshima, is that by Fat's company? I think so. There was only one skill figure of her, very rare nowadays. Oh, no, my bad. This is pop-up raid. I just noticed the hexagonal base. You can't miss that. Yeah, the same exact figure, the same exact pose. There was a skill figure of her, very rare nowadays. Oh, Fear 2, Fear 3. I played the game on PC, right? I played it. Okay. I love first-person shooters, man. The problem is that games nowadays are quite expensive. If not, I would have purchased the Call of Duty Modern Warfare remake already. I would have purchased one if not for the pricing. I'm waiting for the price to drop a bit. More price figures over here. This is really, this is from Konata, Lucky Star, from Lucky Star, not Konata. Konata is that blue hair girl. Hatsune Miku, yeah, this one, the cycling, I remember the figure. Dragon Ball, Haruhi. Is that War Greymon? Yeah, it is. War Greymon from Digimon. Some plushies. And are those Pokemons? I'm not too sure. I'm not very familiar with stuff like that, right? This is a very nice corner, man. I wanted to roast something, but I just couldn't find something to to mess with you, man, Endo. Anyways, very nice collection. I think the next one is the last picture. Yeah, the same desk with your 1x4 skills, 4 of them over here. And that is all for submissions by Ando Kami-sama. Thanks a lot for the submission. Very nice collection over there. Moving on to the next one. Okay, Arata Kosaka. Okay, there is something that caught my attention. You are Vietnamese, right? Because I spotted something that indicated you are a Vietnamese. Alright. You know this figure of what's Moon Cancer BB, right? By Alter. I have heard so many people saying they prefer the fair skin, the white skin version, right? And that one is pretty rare and expensive in Japan, but I'm seeing a lot of you buying the 10th version as well. I prefer the 10th version just because, you know, it is slightly different from my other figures. Is this full wheels figure? It does look like a full wheel. Yes, Phoenix, there you go. Okay, what? Looking at the collection right here, I actually realized something. I should be mixing up my display. Like, you know, the shelf is not just figures. There's something behind. Can be a photo frame. Or you can even put in small stuff like a clock over there. I think even these small items, it makes a display look a lot nicer, right? And is this Fire Emblem? And this one must be from Touken Ranbu, right? I actually watched the newest series, the one made by Ufotable, just because it was made by Ufotable. Otherwise, I wouldn't have watched it, man. Okay, and here, price figures, Kahak. We couldn't see the head. And this is from Etalia, right? I can't remember her name, naturally. Toho, and then Hatsune Miku. Miku again. Okay, this Miku one price figure, yeah, as you can see, this is really tall. The equivalent of 1x6 skills. I think it is Full You by Cute series. Really good purchases overall. This is by Mietos. Is this Arknights again? I think it is, right? Yeah. Okay, we move on to the next picture from... Alright, closer up pictures. Megumi Kato. Is this the Max Factory version or Good Smile version? Either one, I think. Oh no, plastic gods again. Yeah, can't be helped, I suppose, when the whole figure is suspended in mid-air, floating. Very good looking figure right here. Hiwa Bakery. No, not sponsored by them, by the way, since 1938. Yes, I think it was this picture that made me realize like this Miyazono Kaori, is this an art book? Yeah. 34,000 Vietnamese dong. So you bought this at is it from a local artist, like independent artist selling their art in an anime event? Must be, right? If this is priced in Vietnamese dong, that is a lot of dongs, by the way. Okay. And cinnamon spiced vanilla. V Singer. And here we have Katsushika Hokusai. Is that lighting for LEDs? The switch. I think this figure is also by... Is it by Mietos or Apex? One of the Chinese brands, I think. This Hokusai figure over here, I think the only unfortunate part is that it is a bit smaller, ever so slightly smaller than the Fats Company version, but it is still a really good buy. I liked that figure a lot. I reviewed it as well. And the next one over here, a lot of you display your figures on open shelves, yeah? Cleaning up dust must be a nightmare. Oh, this is, what's her name again? Is it Shiranui? Yeah, I think so. This is really expensive by Wing Incorporated, if I'm not mistaken. And this thing goes... No, not Wing Incorporated. Either Wing Incorporated or Animaster, either one. Both figure companies made a figure of this character. This is going for, I think, like 40,000 yen or so. This must be V Singer again, right? Yeah. I don't know anything about her, but when I keep seeing the figure, yeah, eventually I recognize it. So it seems like you received this figure in one piece, nothing broken, right? This is a very fragile looking figure. Alright, moving on to the next one. Alright, so this is your main desk. Is that a 20 or 23 inch monitor? Not really big. Yeah, my monitor is only 23 or 24 as well, because I don't have the space. Yeah, I noticed that a lot of you who sent me pictures, all of you have a dedicated condenser microphone on your desk. Is it for streaming or gaming, right? Or even podcast? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking into doing podcast on anime figures talking to people in future, but we'll see, right? I don't have much to ghost, man, other than, well, this is not related to anime figures, but rather I am not a fan of these shelves over here, like, yeah, the metal brackets that hold the shelf together, they don't look really nice to me. This is purely subjective, of course. Yeah, but some of us, we just want something that works, right? Something practical. We don't care so much about the looks, then yeah, up to you, really. Moving on to the next one, so we have Arata's Room and Space. It is not a really big room, but very cozy looking. And this thing that caught my attention is that your room is actually curved, like, the wall curves out like that. That is very interesting. I'm not sure if your room is curved or that is the effect of wide angle camera lens once again, which is found in every smartphone. But to me, this looks more like an actually curved room, right? Yeah, like the whole room is like that, the shape of the room. Either that, or maybe this is also a panorama image. If you stitch several images together, you stitch a panorama image, then you might get this curve effect as well. I'm not too sure about this, but that is just my observation. One more thing that caught my attention is how low this light is. This lamp is like, it is the same height as your higher segment of the shelf, right? That is a very low lamp. Alright. I think that is all from Arata Kosaka. Thank you very much for sending me pictures. Moving on to the next one, Darius Gunn. Alright, Darius is the friend, my personal friend, I told you guys about at the starting part of this video. And I think one of the things that happened to his figure collection is the main highlight for today's video. But first off, we'll take a look at what he has. On top, we have Kamen Rider stuff, Kabuto, alright. And then here, this must be a prize figure of a Gundam female heroine character. I don't recognize it. Like, I'm not familiar with Universal Century, But behind her, we see Master Grade Double Z Gundam. And then here we have the white color version, master grade as well. FAZZ as they call it on the name, the name of the model kit. I personally call it Fat S double Z Gundam, FAZZ, right? Yeah, dude is a big fan of Formula 1 racing, McLaren, Honda, and this is the RX, is it RX-79 ball, master grade as well. What is that behind the head? Is that Zeta Gundam? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what's behind it. Two little clues going on. I think it should be Zeta Gundam behind the head right there. And more Gundam stuff. Okay, this, what's her name again? Oh yeah, her name is Sumeragi Lee Noriega, the Ptolemaios ship captain in Gundam 00. And also together with Mario Ramius from Gundam Seed, like the two best MILF captains in the entire Gundam universe, man. Like, these two characters have no haters. Everyone loved them. Yeah. Too bad she doesn't have a scale figure, I think. Only price figure. It feels like missed opportunity to me. Mega House should have made a scale figure of her. Or maybe they're waiting for 20th anniversary. Like, recently of Gundam Seed 20th anniversary and so much merchandise and new model kits. Maybe Bandai is waiting for that. So, alright, is this master grade or 1x100 non-grade? I'm not too sure. We have Dynamis, Virtue, and Curious Gundam. And down here we have Star Wars stuff. And Nandroid Yuzuriha Inori. I still own that Nandroid even today. But the thing is, I don't collect Nandroids anymore. And I am really bad at keeping small parts. I misplaced both of her pistols, man. Yeah, I'm really bad at keeping small stuff. Moving on to the next picture. This is arguably the main highlight of today's video. And I wanted to ask you guys what is wrong. Like, seriously wrong this picture over here, but I have given away half of the clue in my thumbnail and title. Yes, this figure over here, this figure of Inori has split into two halves. The base, to be precise, right? The base literally broke into two halves when it is a really solid chunk of ABS plastic, but it snapped in two halves. What happens over here, I'll share with you guys in a moment. But that is not the only problem with this figure. You zoom in further, oh boy. This figure looks really glossy, perhaps even sticky, and it has turned yellow really bad. Like, this is one of the... Oh god, man. I can imagine the figure being so sticky, oily, and also dusty. You know, the dust has stuck on the figure almost permanently because it is very sticky from plasticizers. And it has discolored the figure. The figure has turned yellow. Like, you look at the hair over there, yeah, we get this really bad spots over here. It has dark spots all over the place. And this dark color stuff, right, they are probably molds. Yeah, molds growing on the figure. It happens, right? Especially when you have plasticizers all over the surface of the figure and it is really hot and humid. This will happen. It is possible to remove the mold, but this is a really sad state for this figure over here. Oh, the entire left leg is yellow, right? And let me bring up a comparison picture when the figure was new 12 years ago, right? This was what the figure looked like 12 years ago, the one on the right, of course. And the latest one, okay, let's compare it, right? You see the difference? Yes, the lighting is different. Of course, the one on the right is a brighter image, but still you can see how much the skin color has changed, right? This is one of the worst possible outcomes of a figure being badly affected by dust, plasticizer, and so on, right? And I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame Darius for falling out of love with this figure. Like, I wouldn't blame Darius over here for falling out of love with this figure. For one, this is not a very good figure to begin with. Wave Corporation 1x10 scale Beige Queen series, Yuzuriha Inori, right? They all wear swimsuits over here. Number two, after what the postman did to this figure, like, they literally made a pancake out of the box of this figure, man. How can you like the figure anymore when you never got a replacement from the seller because the seller does not have any more stock, no more inventory? Yes, this picture over here was taken 12 years ago, and you may be asking, wow, he keeps pictures from 12 years ago, he never deletes them. No. Actually, I was the one who found these old pictures from his Facebook account, by the way. Right? I found it. I went through his picture galleries and I dug out pictures from 10 or 12 years ago. Yes, somehow I seem to have the talent to be a stalker or even an archaeologist because I am really good at digging out your past, right? Okay, so back to this figure over here. This was taken 12 years ago. Moving on to the next one. These are the pictures of his parcel when he received it. I think it was in Indonesia. I can't remember which courier, which delivery service for it. He was studying in a college in Indonesia, I think Bandung, Indonesia. And when he received this Inori figure, this was what the parcel looked like. Like, what did they do, man? Did the postman sit on his parcel or something? Oh, wow. Yes, this picture right here was exactly how Darius received his Inori figure from the postman. Like, how was the postman able to present a pancake parcel to a recipient with a straight face, man? You really need to have a very thick skin to be able to do that without feeling anything about it, without feeling guilty about it, you know? This is so outrageous that I'm not even sure how to react to this. Yes, I was aware about this incident back then, but to see it again today in year 2024, 12 years later, and being reminded of something like this could happen to anyone, this is hands down still the worst case of figure box damage I've seen to anyone in my 15 years of collecting anime figures. Yes, I've read a lot of horror stories in Reddit in myfigurecollection.net like, oh no, DHL or the USPS smashed my anime figure box, but yeah, none of them were as bad as this one right here because it literally snapped the figure's base in half. The base is actually the hardest, the toughest part of this figure, and they managed to break it into two halves, man. I don't even know how it happened, but the amazing thing, I'm not sure if you can call this a miracle, the amazing thing was that the figure turns out to be undamaged. Maybe because this is a very simple figure without very obvious fragile parts, no ahoge, no sword or any armor parts sticking out. Maybe like that, like very simple figure, which is why the figure was unharmed. Has any one of you suffered from severe or major damage to your figures? Let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, I think my absolute worst was that broken Elizabeth battery tail that I mentioned earlier. And even in that case, the box wasn't really that badly dented. So this is way worse, man. Okay, so back to today in year 2024. Back to this yellow figure over here. Fortunately, it appears that this is the only figure affected. Like, maybe he fell out of love from with the figure, which is to be expected, right? Okay, so what else do we have over here? Luis from Alter. Yeah, I have this figure. I think I featured this figure in one of my figure yellowing videos as well. And then behind the Racing Miku 2010 version, I think Darius bought this figure from me, in fact. Same thing applies to Dark Angel Olivia by Kotobukiya at the back. Like, that figure, I was so disappointed with it. The figure had a major flaw, and I sold it off cheaply because it had a really huge defect and Darius bought it from me. Nice to see him displaying the figure. I believe the wing is leaning against the rack. If not, the figure would just lean backwards over time. And behind here, we have Alter's Kasugano Sora, right? White China dress version. Shibuya Rin from Idolmaster. I think that is a good smile figure. I think Darius bought it from me as well. Yeah, I sold a lot of figures back then. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, the same shelf that Gundam Yap Double Z Master Grade Double Z at the back. Next one over here. Great to see you taking care of the figures I sold to you. This entire set was mine. I sold it to him. Because I was so fed up with Max Factory not completing the set. Like, how many years has it been? More than 10 years, and they never made a figure of Yami. Yeah, Yami-chan. So I got fed up of waiting to collect the entire set. I sold all of it to Darius, right? He bought it from me. So very nice to see you taking care of them. They are all in box. And Funko Pop. Please don't waste the money on Funko Pop, man. Please don't. They are like a worse version of Nendoroid. Yeah, sure, they are bigger than Nendoroids, but I don't know why people buy these things. Like, to me, every single one of them look almost exactly the same. Yeah, like, you get the point over here. Not my kind of thing at all. I spotted an edgy figure behind. I'm not sure what figure that is because it is out of focus, but still, yeah, I'm covering it up just in case, man. I think that is Ai Saeki by SkyTube. Yeah, from Fault. I love that H anime, man. And that is all for pictures from Darius Gunn. Thanks a lot for sending it to me. Moving on to the next guy over here, Josh Mancool22. This is from his email. Hello, I would love if you would take a look at my collection for a video. It's nothing big since I have only been collecting for about 8 months now. Newbie. I have all the resin statues in the bookshelf and the normal figures on the floating shelves, and then hope you like the look of it. Okay, call me Josh, or my normal name Josh Manco22. Alright. This is one thing to take note of, is that when you display your figures, the resin stuff tend to be heavier, a lot heavier than PVC figures and so on. So, I mean, if you're using floating shelves, like the ones where you just drill into the wall, compared to bookshelves, for example, or even details or custom-made glass shelves, be careful because for those floating shelves, for normal PVC figures, I think it is fine, but for certain resin statues, especially the 1x4s, do not put them on a floating shelf. It is too heavy, right? You won't know if the shelf will eventually fail and then everything comes crashing down, right? Now, he doesn't have much stuff over here. These are resin figures, so, well, I don't really recognize the brand behind these figures. The one on the right, that is something from Naruto, right? Looks quite cool, and here we have something from Pokemon. I'm not sure if I like the water effect parts on this thing. It feels a bit overdone. But the thing with Pokemon is that, we have only Kotobukiya, I think, doing the skill figures where you get the main character and then you have Pokemon next to it. That is it. Like, Pokemon doesn't get that many epic looking figures, right? You need to look at third parties for that. The one below here, Angewomon, like the hottest Digimon out there. Third party resin, of course. I think Mega House did a skill figure or two of this character. Of course, it became really rare and expensive, right? Like the fans would be queuing up for Digimon stuff nowadays, right? And of course, I'm not really sure which figure brand did this figure over here, but the quality of it is quite outstanding. Right? The paintwork is nice. I can't find anything to complain about the craftsmanship over here. This is great. Perhaps not the best Angewomon figure I've seen. There are many third-party resin figures of her. In terms of the pose, it is not the best one, but I have no issues with the paintwork at all. Very nice indeed. Next picture, right, floating shelves. Yep, do not put heavy resin figures on shelves like this, right? Like one figure, one single 1x6 scale, maybe nothing, but no, when you put too many of it, the weight will add up. On the top here, the one on the left, very familiar. Is that from Heaven Burns Red? I'm not too sure, but very familiar. And then we have Kotobukiya's 02 figure. Oh, this is Is this V Singer or a VTuber character? I'm not too sure. I'm not familiar with this figure. I don't think I've seen this one before. Maybe this one came out quite a long time ago, right? I'm not familiar with this figure over here. And down there, oh, this is an old figure. You see the figure is being stretched white again, like the face is really white. Once again, wide angle lens effect. This is 15 years old at least, I think. I think from the late 2000s. I mean, the character design is pretty obvious. More pictures over here. This Naruto, this figure here is really nice, man. I like this one. I like the wings a lot. Yeah. But the Pokemon, not so much. Yeah, not my kind of figure. That figure again. Yeah, this is something old. I just don't recognize it at all, man. Yeah. Is that a syringe? A sword? I'm not too sure what is that. This almost looks like the same exact shelf from the other guy earlier, that Vietnamese guy. Very similar shelf over here. I think this is from Heaven Burns Red, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a relatively cheap figure. Like, quite a low cost figure. If my guess is correct, then this is a pretty great looking figure given the pricing, man. I believe that is all for Josh Mancool22. Yes, that is all. Right, moving on to the next guy over here. This is Raven. Right, Raven sent me a PDF file. Yes, PDF. Which is interesting or weird at the same time. Like, who shares pictures of their room? Anything for the matter. Who shares stuff with PDF? Anyways, we'll make use of a web browser to see those. But before that, this is from the email. Hey, just saw episode 1 of your figure roasting. Figure I would submit. Hope I get picked. Everyone gets picked, bro. It is just a matter of whose turn first, right? Everyone will get their chance. Right, feel free to use the photos that and I built the detail bases and the shelving between the details ourselves. Then I added the LED lighting and mirrors on the back panel so you can see the backs of the figures. Also, I keep all the boxes in the closet. Feel free to reach out to me for anything, follow up. Alright. Yeah, I know that I don't respond to emails because I get a lot of emails, but rest assured, yeah, I received everything, right? Alright, so this is Raven's submission. 20 pictures he sent me, which is a lot. Okay, zooming in is going to be pretty rough because I'm using an internet browser to open the PDF file. I see that you collect a lot of FGO stuff just like I do. That is really nice. And you have a bunch of keychains on the left. Yeah, apparently collecting keychains is very popular, even though I don't buy any. We have some child brides over here, right? Yes. The 3 bride figures, I believe it is Kadokawa. And behind we have the animal girls. What was the brand again? Was it Revolve? I can't remember. So this is Prisma, Ilya, and then we have Sabers over here, Saber Outer, and then I call that Balloon Saber. I think Saber Lily, right? The one carrying the balloons. I think it is from Kadokawa as well. Both are from Kadokawa. And yeah, lying down there we have Marsh Kiwi Light. Yeah, Marsh Kiwi Light is lying there. That is by Outer. And that is one of my least favorite Marsh Kiwi Light figures, right? I hope that you bought it at a low cost, like you got a bargain bin price for it. I wouldn't pay full price for this Outer Marsh Kiwi Light. Like, it is an okay figure, but because the figure is lying down, that is the first issue. Not the biggest issue. The problem is Outer cropped off the shield. Yeah, they chopped off the shield, and I was really mad about it when I saw the figure back then. So I did not buy it, right? Even with the prices heavily discounted. Okay, we have Kotobukiya and Kotobukiya's Gen Outer and Saber Outer, and behind we have some Ram figures. Machikado Mazoku, that figures as well. Pop-up parades of what's her name again? Yeah, Amash and the other girl, what's her name again? I have one behind me, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. That is full wheels version. Quite a well-made price figure though. Down there, oh wow, you buy full wheels Yoshitoku figures. Those are really pricey, man. Right? Those are full wheels $1,000 figures, right? Of Ram and Ram. And we have Marsh Twilight Beast version by Good Smile. Very nice taste to have there for anime figures. Up there we have Autos Jan Diak, which I intend to buy another one. Yeah. Jan Lily, and then the one on the right, that is by... not what was the company again? Not Flare. That company has gone bankrupt very recently. The one that made the other Jan Outer figure over there. I actually just realized by looking at this picture how well these two different versions of Jan Diak Outer go together when you display them. Like their poses are complementing each other. This set of dress versions of Rin, Saber, and Sakura by Good Smile, if not mistaken. The other side we have Amakuni's Rider, Ultra Pendragon, Saber Outer as well by Outer. And we have some, what was the name in, what do you call it? Nekopara. We have some Nekopara stuff. Anyways, we'll see more of them in the next picture, right? Okay. Wow, you're putting that by a door. I suppose that is, a closet. I see. That is a closet. Okay. Ilya Racing, right? Yes, Ilya Racing. And wow, you love your Ilyas, right? You love your lollies a lot. Okay. The entire shelf is racing figures. Very nice. I like the way you display your stuff. Next pick, finally a room picture. And wow, it looks like you don't have much space left for more figures from the looks of it. How many of you actually have a television in your room? I don't have one. My PC is all I rely on. Right, next picture. What do we have over here? The same thing. Just a slightly different angle. Even though as a fan of Fate series, I have not collected much Prisma Ilya stuff. Yeah, yes, now I can see it more clearly. We have a Ram figure behind. I think that is a full wheel figure, right? I'm not too sure. And the other two behind, that is for Machikado Mazoko. Was it Union Creative? I think it was Union Creative that made the figures, right? I think so. I just spotted Makima price figure over here. Next picture, a closer up look. Yep, we have some Saber Alters and the two Nekopara figures in front. This, I think, is by Plum, if I'm not mistaken. Next section, another two Nekopara figures behind. I think those are by Native, I think. Some of the best figures of Nekopara. Down here, Aniplex Gen Diak Outer, the summer version, and also Kotobukiya's Ruler Eltrea. Alright, I did not buy both. I did not buy them. Down there, I couldn't recognize the edgy figure there. I think I've seen it before. I can't remember anything about her. Max Factory's Gen Diak Outer too. And then we have some price figures. Next picture, closer up look. We have more Ilya. The entire shelf is raising stuff. I like that your display is quite neat. Like, you don't try to force in a dozen figures into one section. This looks neat. I like it a lot. You definitely have more Saberface figures than I do, I think. Next picture, Alta's Gen Diak Alter. I bought the first release version where there is a huge design flaw on the flag. Like, the pack broke very easily, which is a shame. And for that reason alone, I'm thinking of buying a second one. Like, the older one, I'll display it, and then the new one, I'll keep it in box. Oh man, Gen Lily is so small. This version of Gen Diak Outer, I'm not really that big of a fan of the face. It feels like Tanya Degurechav. That crazy face from Tanya. So, I did not buy this one because I'm not a big fan of it. Yep, the three dress figures by Good Smile. Next shelf over here, yeah, that Kadokawa Saber Outer earlier. This one is getting a re-release, by the way, and she is quite cheap. I think 23,000 yen for something this complicated. It is actually a good buy. I did not buy one though because I have priorities. Like I have other FGO figures that I think are a higher priority, a must-have. So I did not buy this one. Yep, Outer Smash Kirilite, which I did not like because they chopped off the shield. I would prefer Outer to charge us more and just give us a full shield, you know? Okay, what else? Alright, they are all close-up pictures over here, which I really do appreciate. Pop-up braids and their rectangular bases. Hold on a second. Oh, my bad. These are not the Yoshitoku figures. Yeah, these two Ram and Ram figures are by Phoenix, but it is not the 1x4 scale Yoshitoku figures which comes with real fabric. My bad. These are their normal scale figures. They are not cheap. I think they go for around 30,000 yen each, but they are not my kind of figure. Great to see them doing a good job on this pair of Ram and Ram figures because yeah, nowadays they are not as consistent as barely a year ago, unfortunately. Masquerade Beast version, and then next picture over here, yeah, close up pictures. Do you have any idea how expensive those two figures behind are? Yeah, I mean aftermarket value, of course, they are really expensive now. And yes, out of all of the Nekopara figures I'm looking at over here, they are also the best looking ones, right? Alright, next picture over here, more close-up pictures, Needy Girl Overload. Is that pop-up raid? I'm not too sure. It does look like one to me. Yep, the one on the left, I don't recognize her. Like, I feel I've seen her somewhere. Is that by Daiki Kogyo? I can't remember. Or some other brand, right? Pop-up raid Way Anime long hair version, and then that Saber Extra is a prize figure, very obvious. Oh man, this Ilya figure is outstanding, made by Stronger, right? Stronger, they make excellent figures, like I highly regard them. They don't release many figures in a year, but the stuff they do are really high quality. The only two racing figures I have are Saber and Rain. Yeah, the original Saber and Tosaka Rain. I did not buy the rest. Yep, the one on the right, I have that one. But it had clear coating issues on the figure and this Tosaka Rain. These are the only two I own. And the last picture over here, this pair of racing figures, Mordred and Jen, they are actually quite common. It is all over in Taobao actually. Did they get a re-release? I think they did, right? Plastic God again, but can't be helped, I suppose. Like, the weight distribution is way off on this figure. Man, I love your FGO collection, bro. Very nice. And that is all for Raven. The next guy over here, there is no pseudonym, and this appears to be a real name. Ricardo I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. It sounds French to me. Sounds, I'm not too sure. Anyway, I'm putting your name on screen. Okay, so this is from your email. Hey man, huge fan of the channel. Saw your latest video sharing and roasting collections and figured I would share mine. Some of the lighting is still work in progress, but whatever. Keep up the videos, man. It is like ritual of mine to watch your content. Thank you very much, bro. Thanks a lot. Alright, we move on to your figure. Oh, that is a very nice shelf. Is this custom? I'm not too sure, but that is a very nice shelf. You bolted this to the top of the ceiling or something. 1x4 scales. Okay, you're collecting a lot of bunnies over here. What do we have? This girl on the far right, I don't recognize this one. This is from Ikito Zen. I've forgotten her name already. Like, she was the main character, but she isn't the most popular one. Sansaku Hakufu, right? Is it Sansaku Hakufu? Can't remember anymore. And then this one I remember. This girl, her eyes are always closed, but she only opens it when she gets serious. Jo-un Shiryu, I think. Third party Asuka figure, very nice. Oh, I love the paintwork on this one. Not a fan of the face, realistic face, but the paintwork on the plug suit looks amazing. These two must be from, what's the name again? Move Love Alternative Total Eclipse. Kriska, this is Kriska. This girl, I forgot her name. Shield Alencon from God Eater. Yeah, Scarhack 1x4 version. I only own the outer 1x7. From that slime anime. A lot of people love her. I do as well. Saekano figures. She no. Hoki from Infinite Stratos. Okay, Black and Purple Heart from Joujigen Neptune. Very nice choices over there. Next picture here, yeah, you seem to have bolted everything onto the wall and near your ceiling. That is one way to to save money, but man, I fear for your head, man. Like, be careful when you get out of bed because you're going to bump your head. Seriously, man. I know you don't have much space, which is why you do this, but I really fear for your head. Please don't injure yourself. Alright. Oh wow, you just have to put me on screen, didn't you? Alright. What do we have here? Okay. So we have Ningguang and Ganyu. Did you keep the wooden crate box or you threw it off? Yeah, let me know. Force Slender, FGO racing figure again. That Force Slender figure, I don't remember. This one is made by Wing or Mietos. I don't remember. A few companies are making them. Down here, Musashi. Yeah, this one, is it by Union Creative again? Azalane figure. Behind with Raiza. And what is this? Looks very familiar. I can't recognize it. Alright, and wow, you bought... Oh, I thought that was Pop-Up Parade XL, but no, that is a third-party resin figure. Realistic face. Yeah, put it on the bottom section, don't put it above because it is heavy. Union Creative figure, I think. Original character, right? Oh, this figure of Yatogami Toka. I reviewed it on this channel. I used to own one. I sold it already. The one by Good Smile. In my opinion, it is still one of the best Toka figures today. But it is not cheap anymore, right? She has gotten rare. And behind there, yeah, I see that another Dead Alive figure. I don't remember her name. And we have Good Smile's 02 wedding dress version. And up here, we have Honkai Impacted stuff. Bro, where is Yae Sakura? You need her. Everyone buys her. Okay, Flash Gen Diak, the white color one, which is pretty rare and expensive nowadays. We have Baltimore by Apex Toys Race Queen version. And here we have Altus Gen Diak, I think. Should be Altus one. Like, wow, seriously, I can totally tell that you are trying to squeeze out every single inch of space you have left. Not much. Okay, these are resin figures, I think. I don't recognize them as well. And down here, I think I know which Lancer Altora figure that is. Third-party resin as well. Let's go back to this picture over here and take a look at the shelf. Okay, this Narrow Claudius or Saber Extra Third Ascension, I really regretted not buying it because she is really hard to find nowadays. Not cheap, right? I'm hoping she gets a re-release someday because Marsh Krillite behind her, that one got a re-release. Then here are Fat Companies, Musashi, Mihoyo's, what they call it, Paimon. Oh man, I nearly forgot about this Astolfo figure. This is the Kotobukiya exclusive version, the faceplate. I need to buy it, but I have already forgotten, you see? There are so many FGO figures to buy. Plum's Scarhack, and then, yeah, the same Kotobukiya, Saber and Gen figure. Oh, Good Smiles, Third Ascension, Soji Okita. Soji Okita in front as well. Aquamarine went bankrupt as well. Altus, what's her name again? Formidable, right? Yep. Kerchi. Oh, there you are, Yae Sakura. I thought you did not have one. You have one. Very nice. This must be Purple Heart, right? I think this is Purple Heart. And then we have Pyra, Xenoblade. Yeah, Xenoblade figures behind Kiana. And Herschel, right? From Honkai Impacted as well. I like your collection a lot. I'm starting to wonder if you wear a cycling helmet or a motorcycle helmet to sleep. That is not safe at all. Not safe at all, but yeah, I understand your situation, your predicament over here. Okay, so let's move on to the next guy. From your email over here. First of all, I love the content you make. It always makes my day each time you post a video. Even though I'm losing a ton of cash here, I still love doing it. Ghost my collection. It is only a small collection. I just started 6 months ago. Another newbie. And some of my figures are not on the picture because it is in another house. Please be gentle. The video on my screen is by far my most favorite video from your channel, and I'm currently looking for that figure. But in my country, it is already gone. And finally, I hope your channel grows, dude. Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks a lot. So the name you have given me is Rob Spidieski. Yeah, sounds Russian or even European. Alright. So this was the favorite video you were talking about. My review on Soji Okita 3rd Ascension. Okay, if you are looking for this figure and you say it is a bit rare in your country, yeah, I think it can be hard to find in your own country because most local figure stores, they don't keep a lot of stock, right? Like if they receive 3 pre-orders, they will order exactly 3 figures for that specific item. If it is a popular character, maybe they order an extra unit or 2. Most local figure stores, they don't keep old stock because it is not a good idea in general. And that is also why a lot of Japanese figure stores, they bargain bin really quickly. Like after 2 months or 3 months to figure out, you start seeing bargain bins because they don't want to keep old inventory. Unless you are talking about Mandarake, of course, right? They sell used stuff. Then in those situations, it is a bit different. But in generally speaking, most figure stores, they don't keep old stock because it is bad business practice, right? So back to that Soji Okita figure. Your best bet is to look for it in Mandarake. Yes, shipping is going to cost you a lot. The box is massive on that one. But I don't think that figure is that rare or hard to find. Like, you can look for it in Ami pre-owned section. But I would generally suggest you to go for Mandarake in those scenarios. As long you're willing to pay for the shipping cost, right? Okay. Let's see what you have on your desk. Oh, pink color microphone and keyboard. That is unusual. Okay. Taito AMP plus Albedo, right? I told you guys to get one. Yeah, but I myself have not purchased it. I know that Albedo looks fairly fat over here, but once again, this is wide angle camera lens effect. That Tamamo figure over there, that is a prize figure, right? And a rather rare one. I think that is by Sega. Most prize figures, they go for like 1,000 to 2,000 yen each, normal range. That Tamamo figure right there is at least 3,000 yen nowadays, which is, yeah, I consider it to be on the high side for prize figure. And then we have Saber Lily Distant Avalon, which I also own that figure. Like, do you have any idea how hard I saved up as a college student just to afford that Saber Lily Distant Avalon figure? Yeah, I liked that figure so much that I'm thinking of buying a second one as well. Like display one and keep another one in the box, you know? Yeah, I'm thinking of buying another one simply because that is quite cheap nowadays. That figure is not expensive at all. Okay, and then... Okay, we have a laptop over there. Is that Dell Alienware or is that an Acer Nitro? No, I'm not too sure. Could be Razer as well. I mean the tapered design reminds me of Dell Alienware though. Okay, this figure I don't really recognize it. However, no, must be from one of the Chinese brands, but I don't recognize this figure at all. Is this by Mietos? Correct me if I am wrong. And Racing Miku 2021 version, Nandroid. Alright. That's a Logitech mouse, I think. And that is all from Rob's PDSK. For a newbie, a new collector, I think you picked great figures to buy. Great choices over there. Like that Tamamo figure, I mean, if you can, try to look for the Fats Company version. I know it feels weird for me to recommend people to buy Fats Company's Caster Tamamo, but that is the only one of only 2 or 3 scale figures of her you can find, and that is one of the cheapest one. Like the Fats Company version, sometimes you can come across a pre-owned one, like Army grade AB or BB for around 5,500 yen. And at that price, it is not a bad buy. Seriously, even though it is a Fats Company figure, right? Okay, and we move on to the next guy. Okay, so this is from the email. Hello, ex-Kurogane. I'm Sabuda and my MFC page is under the same name. Alright. Just watched your room review and I really enjoyed it. I was hesitant to send my pics because they are a bit of a mess, but you seem kind enough in the video. Alright, I'll be harsh with your pictures. One thing you guys need to understand is that if I do roast your video, like if I'm being unkind or cynical or sarcastic, I'm doing it for the sake of entertainment. Like I just want to make you guys laugh, right? Don't take my criticisms or too seriously because it is all for the sake of entertainment, right? Okay, continuing where I left off. Okay, started my collection with Gundam model kits. Same case as I do. Then action figures. Same thing once again. Seamless 1x6 clay art. Now I mostly collect 1x4 and some resin statues. Wow, expensive taste right there. I am currently waiting for my order of module cases to hopefully better organize my collection. Module case. Yeah, I think they were made in Singapore, right? Module case, this brand where they make modular display cases. You can stack them, you can join them together. Okay, would certainly appreciate some feedback. Looking forward to your next video. Alright. So we have... Wow, that is a very nice looking custom PC. My PC is like very minimalist, right? Just a black box and nothing else. I did not even install any lights because I keep my things simple. Are you an artist? Like, okay, that's really cool. I have always wanted to buy a tablet like that because I want to learn how to use stuff like ZBrush. 3D modeling because I do 3D printing. All the while I've been buying 3D models from sculptors online, from CG Trader and so on, but I have no clue how to design stuff other than using web-based software like Tinkercad. Okay, mechanical keyboard and small monitor as well. From the looks of it, this is 18 or 20 inches only. That is fine though. For me, I'm not particular about my monitor sizes because the bigger your monitor is, the further you need to push it away from you. You need some viewing distance, right? So if your monitor is huge but you're sitting so close to it, there is no point, you can't see the whole thing, right? Alright, next picture over here. Let's see what do we have on your shelf. The one on the left, that is, one of the, from one of the edgy brands. I'm not sure if it is Native, Vibrasta and so on, but I do recognize that one. Behind we have Elf Village. Yeah, elf figures from Vertex, and then we have, so you choose to display that cyberpunk figure from Absinthe Studio without anything on. Okay. The one thing I'm curious about is this Hestia figure, which looks like an action figure to me. I don't recall Hestia having any action figure. Or perhaps it is just because I'm not paying attention to action figures, which is why, I did not notice any. Is that a third-party resin figure? I think it is, right? Yeah, the one on the far right, I can't recognize that one. Okay, next picture over here. The only thing I recognize on this shelf is that Lancer Altoria Pendragon by Good Smile. And you know, this metal rod going through the belly of the horse, that was something I really did not like, because this rod wasn't present in the official product pictures. And I know it was for a really stupid reason, which is this rod over here that I chose to buy Extreme's version first, which comes with a giant throne base, right? But there is still a possibility I might pick one up. I know it is a really stupid reason, but it was exactly this metal rod that made me think thrice on whether to pick one up, and in the end, I haven't bought one even today. I went for the Extreme version, but I'm not discounting this figure. In the future, I still might buy one, right? Moving on to the next. Whoa, wow! So you just buy all the 1x4 scales and then you dump them on this table. You don't have a proper shelf for it. Wow, this is crowded, man. This is seriously crowded. Okay, let's see how many of them can I recognize over here. Okay, the one with a pair of melons. Yeah, the second figure from the left with a cross-shaped tape on her melons. That is by Vibrasta, if I'm not mistaken. And then that lolly in the next to her, yeah, you put black color tape on it. Is that something by Beeful or Inside? It looks like one to me. Okay, and then the two tent figures in front, those are binding figures, right? They are, absolutely. Wow. Yeah, behind that black color nurse over there, the one on the left, that is by Hot Venus. A lot of binding freeing figures as well. Behind the Power and Makima, they are really popular, man. Freeing sold a lot of Power and Makima figures at 1x4 scale, even though a few units had quality control issues. And then behind your Shimakaze, one thing that really caught my attention, what happened to your vanilla figure, man? Did you break the foot peg or something? Like the thing is leaning over? Or like she fell over and you did not notice it? Something is wrong with the figure, right? If you are watching this, let me know what happened to that vanilla figure of yours. Yeah, she is leaning over. What else do we have on the side over here? Okay, this is from Girls. Front line, in front of Shiro. And then Albedo. You know, I have always assumed that it is uncommon for people to just leave their figures, lots of them, on a table like that. But it seems like many people do it, right? Yeah, get yourself a shelf, man, unless you don't have the space, of course. Seriously, bro, get yourself a simple shelf. Doesn't matter if it is wall mounted or even a glass cabinet. Doesn't matter what it is. Like leaving all your figures on the table like that, man, dusting it must be insane. Not to mention, when you leave your figures like this, right? Who knows? It is very easy to accidentally knock them over when you're doing something. For example, you just bought something online and then the parcel arrived. You have a huge parcel, you carry it into your room, and if you're not careful, yeah, you might bump into your figures like this. It is not safe displaying your figures like this. Next picture, different angle of the same table over here. Next picture again. I see that this New Jersey figure is incredibly popular, and it is like a perfect 10 out of 10 people I know who bought this figure. They displayed this figure with this one single base only. Like, they don't care about all of the extra bases provided by Freeing to support her hair. Like, who would care, right? That is one of the worst bases I've seen. And here, Caroline, 1x4 scale Caroline, right? Original character by Binding. I liked that figure a lot, even though I did not buy it, right? Priorities after all. Okay, let's move on to the next picture. I see. I see you really are struggling with space over here. Okay. That is a really unique looking shelf, man. Like, I know somehow it looks scary to me. Like, the entire shelf looks rather fragile because of, you know, those thin metal parts, and then you have this huge thick wooden block on top. Yeah, it is just design, I get that, but it looks scary at the same time. Alright. So, another thing I've noticed with the pictures you guys send me is that a lot of you do display your figures on open shelves instead of closed glass cabinets. I would love to hear from you guys, like how do you handle all the dust, right? Okay, so now we have closer up pictures. 02 price. Oh no, that is a pop-up rate. Unicorn Gundam, is that master grade or high grade? HGUC, I'm not too sure. Too small to be MG, right? That is high grade model. Okay, Figma's action figures on this row over here. I'm actually wondering if it is possible to add an additional layer of shelf on this. Like, is it modular? I'm not too sure. Because this is a lot of wasted space for Figmas. Like, you don't need that much height for Figma. Yeah, a lot of wasted space over there. I don't see any holes for you to bolt on, and yeah, I don't think so. I don't think you can add any additional levels, which is a shame. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Oh, I recognize this samurai maid figure. I think this is by Daiki Kogyo, right? Very lovely figure. Alright, Evangelion stuff, Tanjiro. What is this alien thing in front? Let me know. Alright. Okay, next picture, Dark Magician Girl. That is a third-party resin, right? I don't think that is a genuine licensed figure. I haven't seen that one before. God Gundam in the middle. Wow. Did you paint that like anime style painting? You painted the figure yourself. I mean the model kit yourself. I can't even tell if that is a standee, an acrylic standee, or even a model kit anymore. The way this thing is painted in anime style, man, I really can't tell at all. Okay, here we have an unfamiliar Chinese dress figure, Persona stuff again. Saint Seiya, I see. Alright, next one over here. What do we have? Okay, the only thing I recognize over here are the Sonico figures. The one in the middle, this witch character feels familiar. Is that Kotobuki? I'm not too sure, but feels familiar. This looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh character to me. Yeah. Alright, next picture. This video is getting a bit too lengthy, and that is despite pushing 5 of you into episode 3, man. This looks like something made by Miatos. Like, the way they make their figures, you can kind of tell. This must be girls' front line, right? I see a firearm. I would assume it is girls' front line. Okay, so Wing Gundam 0, is it? Custom painted to be entirely in white color. E-Streams Megumin. This one, I recognize this figure. I just can't recall which brand made it. Was it Orchid Seed? I can't remember anymore. And this mecha thing on the left, I don't recognize it. Yeah. Oh wow, resin statues, more of it. Yeah, that saber figure, I don't recognize it. Resin statues? I mean, when the room is so cluttered with so much stuff and you put super fragile resin statues like this, man, I fear for the safety of your resin figures, man. Wow, this is another section of the room. How much stuff do you have, man? Okay, interesting stuff going on over here. I think we'll go for the closer up pictures. Okay, so under the TV, we have all the Genshin figures. I think you have every single one of them from the looks of it. And here, what do we have? Ram, and Emilia. Okay, the ones by E-Stream, right? I think, yeah, Shiba Scramble figure. On the right, we have Nien from Arc Knights, I think. Was it Apex Toys? I think so. Thanos, is that Pacific Rim? Yeah, I think so. And 2 basketball players which I'm unfamiliar with. Right? I am a tennis guy. Yeah, I love tennis. Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal. I'm a tennis guy. I don't know much about basketball at all. Maybe the name is here. Oh, Michael Jordan. Yeah, I've heard of the name. Both are Michael Jordan, I see. The pictures are high resolution enough for me to spot them. Okay, what? Okay, Sim Studio again. Seems like a lot of you bought that figure from Cyberpunk. Yeah. These are great buys, man. They are a bit hard to find now, but they are really great buys. If you come across them, buy it, right? Okay, let's move on to the next picture. Master Grade, right? Exia and Unicorn Gundam. Looks like Master Grade to me. Is this the Volca or the animation version? Please let me know if you are watching this video. I own the Volca Master Grade and I hated that model kit so much. Like, it is one of my least favorite Master Grade model kits I have in my collection because of the knee joints. Like, you can barely bend it, right? And the animation version fixed the joints of that Unicorn Gundam, right? The Volca really sucks, man. Yeah, if you're buying Master Grade Unicorn Gundam, always buy the animation version, avoid the Volca. The Volca is just a decal sticker fest, just to make the model kit look more detailed than it actually is, right? Exia, did you buy the standard version or you buy the repair version, the battle damage version? I bought the normal version. I own one as well. I bought the normal version. I think I should have bought the repair version, the deluxe version. Okay, here, alright, from... I'm really bad at remembering names, man. Yeah, this is from Overlord. Oh, wow. Is this the 1x4 scale? No, 1x6 scale by Acme Studio. This is a licensed resin statue if I'm not mistaken. This is very expensive. Think about $1,300 US or so. So you have one of these, very nice. Is this your most expensive figure? I think it is, right? Alright, let's move on to the next picture. From games, Yu-Gi-Oh, right? This is Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm not that much of a gamer, I'm just a casual gamer. Wow. Bro, how much stuff do you have? You have an amazing collection, but you really need to do something about your disorganized collection. Yeah, like, I know furniture is not cheap. I mean, if you could streamline your all of your collections, like, you know, how do I describe it? Because I don't have a clear idea of what the room space is like. Anyways, it is not like I have the right to to criticize your collection and the way you display stuff, because mine is not any better. Mine is really messy as well. Perhaps I should share pictures of my own room back at home one day. This is my studio. I don't have a figure display in my studio yet because custom made shelves are really expensive. I intend to go all out on custom made ones. And my room at home, yeah, it is a mess as well. Okay. The thing is that in general, I don't recommend displaying your figures in closed cabinets like this. I mean, the doors are really obstructing, right? Obstructing a lot of things. You can't enjoy looking at the figure fully. Is this Medicom Ra DX action figures at 1x6 scale? I'm not very familiar with action figures, and for that reason, I don't recall Kill La Kill or Ram and Ram and even that Satan figure from the 7 Sins ever having action figures. Maybe this is Medicom Ra DX series. I'm just guessing over here. They do look really good though for action figures. Down here, this row, I don't recognize anything from this row below. Oh, I recognize this one at least. This girl is from Medaka Box, right? It is an anime from about 10 years ago, Medaka Box. Of course, I don't remember the character's name. Okay. Next picture right here. Alright. So we have more resin figures down here and up here. This action figure, I don't recognize her at all. If you know something, yeah, comment it below. This must be HGUC GM, one of the Grant units. And then we have Wing Zero Master Grade, I think. Yeah, Master Grade, because Wing Gundam is really small, right? So even the Master Grade kit is not really big. I do own one actually. Yeah, no inner frame for the upper half of the body. Was it? Or the legs? I can't remember. Nandoroid, and then... Okay, this mecha thing, I don't recognize it. Oh, this is cool. Master Grade again, right? Or is that Metal Build? Oh no, this is Metal Build, I think, not Master Grade. Astray Weight Frame, Gundam Astray Weight Frame. All this monster stuff, I know nothing. This is Imperial Dramon. I think it is the Bandai model kit. Yeah, Digimon 02 Imperial Dramon. I loved it as well. Yeah, no. Oh, okay. This is Mazinger, right? Was it Mazinger? Yeah. Man, your interests are really, like, you have a lot of interest, huh? More mecha stuff, Transformers. Street Fighter 4. Wait, this is a Street Fighter character? This is not Chun-Li? This almost looks like Mai Shiranui, but it is not Mai Shiranui either. Oh, sorry, my bad, my bad. King of Fighters. Yeah, King of Fighters, yeah. This is not from Street Fighter. Okay, Levi. Action figure again, is it? Looks like action figure to me. I don't recognize it as well. Man, this thing looks awesome. Very detailed, man. This thing looks awesome. And that is all for Sabuda. Wow, you have a lot of stuff, man. I can kind of tell your collection is on the messy side because you lack space. And it is like every single shelf you have is different as well. But wow. Alright, let's move on to the next one over here. I think this is the last guy for today. And this video has been going on for quite a while now. So your name would be ZD Luch, right? ZD Luch. Okay, hi. Here are my figure collections for you to roast. I just got started into anime figure collecting at last 2 years ago. Alright. On a tight budget, so mostly only Q pockets, blind boxes, Funko Pops, and custom figure clays. Bro, why Funko Pops, bro? Maybe I'm biased, right? I never liked them. I always trash Funko Pops. Okay, one scale figure I ever bought as second hand but authentic. Please excuse my photo quality. My phone is almost 10 years old. Phones, their batteries have a lifespan. The screen have a lifespan as well. So for yours to last 10 years old, man, is that an iPhone or is it a Samsung? Like, that is really something long lasting. And dude really knows his priorities, you see. He is unwilling to change a new phone when his current one is 10 years old, but he spends all of his money on Funko Pops. I just don't get this part. Personally, I'm the kind of guy who would prefer quality over quantity. Like, I would rather have only 20 figures, but each of them cost 25,000 yen, rather than going for a lot of price figures. Like, what is the point of owning 100, 200 price figures? I would rather have only 20 scale figures, right? That is the kind of style I would go for in collecting anime figures. Yes, I know I have a bunch of price figures behind me on my shelf. There were 3 reasons actually. The first reason is that this is an open shelf where I need to deal with dust, and for that reason alone, I would prefer to put something cheap on them instead of displaying expensive scale figures. That is the first reason. Second reason is that some of those price figures or pop-up rates, they don't have a genuine high quality scale figure. Yeah, like Cleopatra from FGO, and even what's the name again? Sei Shonagon. Yeah, Fats Company just had one on pre-order, but at this point of time, there are no scale figures of her yet. And the third reason being, some of the figures over here, I bought them solely for photography. Like, I like the pose, I have an idea, I want to take pictures, that is it, right? Okay, back to this email over here. I always put 2 to 3 silica gel packs inside per display case. That is excellent practice over there. I do highly recommend all of you to do it. If you don't display your figure, you keep a figure in the boxes, put a silica gel pack in every single one of them. Yes. You do not want to deal with humidity, trust me. Even if your figure becomes oily after a few years because plasticizers got trapped in the figure box, at least the figures are oily, not sticky, right? When you mix oil with water, humidity, that is when you get stickiness. And the sticky figures are really difficult to clean. So you would rather deal with an oily figure rather than a sticky figure. And for that reason alone, put silica gel packs inside the anime figure boxes, right? Okay, to continue the email over here, you also have a dehumidifier. Wow. You see, dehumidifiers, they actually consume a lot of electrical power, right? Not too far off an air conditioning unit. Yeah, so personally, I would prefer to have my air conditioning running instead of a dehumidifier when they use the same amount of power. Yeah, humid climate, I get it. My country is also really hot and humid. Not to mention the super dusty location, I put warm yellow LED light strips with frosted diffuser in the display cases. The white LEDs are too straining for my eyes. Yeah, I agree. I also prefer warm lighting, like warm white lighting, those yellow lighting like you see in premium posh hotels, and yeah, I prefer yellow warm lighting over white light. The pop mart display cases are used as night lamps. Oh, hope they get featured in on your video. Please go easy on them. Deloach. Yeah, I am not going to go easy on Funko Pops, man. Okay, let's see. Yeah, these are Funko Pops and clay figures in modular display cases, right? These are modular acrylic modular display cases. Yep, they are. They are extremely affordable and they are great for people who buy smaller figures. For scale figures in general, not a good idea because they are quite small. Like in general, they don't exceed 30 centimeters in height. So you can put maybe 2 scale figures or 3 maximum inside and that is it, right? Yeah, I love this kind of warm lighting. I love it. Michael Jackson, come on, man. I think I know where you bought those display cases. They are very familiar to me. I think I know where you got them, right? Okay, so these modular display cases, they are made of acrylic. The advantages is that they are relatively affordable. They are modular, you can just stack them and they almost looks like a display shelf in a way. The bad news about these acrylic boxes is that they turn yellow over time. Yes, you know when you go to Shopee, which is very popular in Southeast Asia, it is like our version of Amazon. Yeah, kind of. You will come across a lot of these really cheap display cases, display shelves even, like figure shelves but built from acrylic, bamboo and wood, right? Yeah, they cost like 50 to under 100 US dollars each, very cheap. They are great for people on a budget, but the problem is that they are acrylic, not glass. And the biggest problem with acrylic, number one, they scratch very easily, right? Even from your fingernails will scratch it. And the second problem, which is the bigger problem in my opinion, is that they turn yellow over time. Plastic will turn yellow from exposure to sunlight and even environmental elements, which is why actually once considered buying them before because they are cheap, but in the long term, when I think about the long term, they are not really a good idea. That is the unfortunate part. Yeah. If your room does not take much sunlight, then I suppose acrylic boxes are not a bad idea. Yeah. I think I do recognize quite a number of these Pop Mart figures. I think I saw them being sold in the local shopping mall. Of course, I don't recognize any of the characters over here. Like, I'm not into these figures. Wow. So you're using these lights as night lights because to me they look very bright as well, man. They're really bright. This hexagon, these hexagonal boxes, I've seen them in a local shop before. You can stack them and assemble them in a modular fashion. They look very nice actually. Lego. Okay, so you collect Lego as well. And that is all for pictures from Deluge Chua. Okay, I'm not really sure how to react to your collection over here because, yeah, I wanted to roast Funko Pops really badly because, I mean, they are not great figures overall. But at the same time, I think having a small number of such figures is not a bad idea if you're going for a variety of different stuff in your collection, right? You want some Gunpla, you want some scale figures, you want some Funko Pops to go along, then that is fine, but you exclusively collect Funko Pops. That is the one thing I don't get. Yeah, I love the acrylic boxes, just that they are way too small for the kind of things I collect. Also, you see they have one scale figure. Is this the one right here? I'm not too sure at this point, right? Among the stuff you have, which I think are really nice looking, let's go back over here. Yeah, this one over here. I think this specific box over here, even though I have no clue what is inside over here, and you have some Feng Shui stuff there as well. Yeah, Feng Shui crystals, emerald crystals or something like that. I think this box over here looks really unique because of all the colors and the character designs are quite unique, right? Meanwhile, oh, this must be the scale figure you're talking about, right? This is Lelouch, yeah, from Code Geass. Okay. And then, I really like this shelf we have over here. This steel mesh, metal mesh shelf we have over here. Is this from IKEA? I'm not too sure. Yeah, I have always been a fan of industrial designs. Like, this is a slight industrial design as well with all these metal pipes, right? I like industrial designs. As for your collection, I would love to roast it a lot more, but at the same time, I'm worried about inflicting too much emotional damage on you. Yeah, so I'll stop right here. That is all for episode 2 of me roasting your anime figure collection, which I did not roast much actually, other than me making it really clear that I don't like Funko Pops. And yeah, that sticky Inori figure earlier with a broken base. That is crazy, man. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for anime figure content every week. For those of you who did not get featured, yeah, you'll be making it to episode 3. And of course, please keep submitting content to me, right? My email is right here. Feel free to send me as many pictures as you like. Yeah, and that is all for today. I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.